Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to do the first part of the install for this tire carrier. So we're going to take this tire carrier and we're going to start getting the layout to go on the back of this Dodge Ram. So we did a lot of overlanding. He had a different setup on the back of this thing. It was a hitch mounted tire swing out. So we're going to go in here, we're going to modify the bumper, we have to reinforce it in spots, and basically that tire carrier will sit here and it'll be able to swing out. It'll have a latch. Should be a pretty good setup for him. Eventually he'll mount roto packs and everything else on it. Alright, so let's start getting this thing up there here, and we got to figure out how we're going to get this mounted through here. So we're going to have to cut through the bumper. We're probably going to do some reinforcing. He's going to lose the steps on the sides. Alright, so we got to get the center of everything. This is my go-to tape measure for that. Center finding tape measure. So whatever it is on the top, you find that on the bottom, it'll be half. Okay, so that's roughly where it's going to be. So we'll have to work out what we're going to do back here for the latch. This is going to get a big hole cut in it. We'll have to rebox this in. Whatever we do on this side, we'll have to do on the other side for cosmetics. So this rubber stopper will go over here. I'll put a little bracket back here for this to mount to, and for the drawdown for the clamp. Alright, so on this bumper, it's actually modular. The center section bolts in, and the corners bolt in, and they actually bolt into the frame horns. We gotta unbolt this corner so I can cut this one section off of it. So this axle will have to go inside of there. We'll just mark where we're going to cut real fast. If you would, please hit that subscribe button. It helps us grow and gets our videos out in front of everybody. So what I've been doing is trying to get this thing square with the bumper. So I'm just putting a square on the bearing section itself, and then I'm going to have to scoot it out just a little bit more. I don't want to be right up against that gate. So this is actually 36. 36, yeah. So she'll be...
Yep, there's one front of it.
You're just off the taillight, so you're going to be somewhere in that area.
Is it 36 to the top too?
It's 36 square.
Wow. And I didn't think that tire was that big, but that is a big tire.
36 is fine because that tire is probably pretty close to 36 when it's a new tire.
Right. Okay, and I need to work out a way that I'm going to bring this in here. Alright, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt this tube in. I'm going to come up just above that collar. I might actually leave the collar on and allow us, if we ever want to, we can take off the swing altogether. We'll put these corner pieces on, kind of ramp the bumper. Alright, so we got it all roughed in. So I'll come back in and fill this in. I gotta make a couple small pieces for that gap. And after it's welded, I'll trim this whole thing back. So I'm gonna weld this in, do some welding here to lock it in place. They make these little transfer gauges that you can actually use to, you just push it in and it gives you a profile, and that's an easy way to transfer that back to the templates. Alright, so this piece will go on the corner. And this is the template for that. I gotta clear the template just a little bit. Okay, so that piece will go there. You need to run this line up. And that should do it. Alright, so this thing is pretty much all roughed in, ready to go. So then I'll just have to extend it out. That's pretty much about it. Alright, so now we're just going to fill in some of these gaps with pieces so that when we grind it, it'll be one continuous contour all the way through. Alright, so we just made a quick root pass. I used that tartan G from Rockmount as a root, and I'll go back over that with the Polaris MIG we have. There's a lot of weight on that bushing. So we'll start working all these tacks down and get this thing welded together. Alright, so I bent the piece of metal up and filled in this section. So that's what the new corner is going to look like. I'll grind a little bit off of this tube. But then we'll eventually come through here and we'll just smooth this a little bit so that it takes out some of the rough stuff. But remember, this was a plate that came this way. One plate here. These are two separate plates. We ground that smooth. Work these two plates in. You can kind of see a little bit more of what all we had going on there. And that's to try to get all those complex shapes all worked in. So lastly, I have to make a piece that's going to go over the top of this. And then we'll weld this whole corner onto the bumper. If you enjoyed this, please come back for part 3 as we get this on the truck and get it functioning. And if you like this type of content, check out some of our other welding, tube bending, or some of the other types of fabrication we have on the channel. If there's something you'd like to see, leave me a comment, let me know what it is. So until the next build out or the next fab, we'll see you there. This is a 4x4 Fab Shop.